If Stephen King ever wrote It Chapter 3, you know what the plot would be? The elderly Losers Club members returning to fight Pennywise. Pennywise, we've beaten you twice already, and we'll inevitably kick your ass the third time round. It Chapter 2, directed by Andy Muschietti, and is the 2019 sequel to the 2017 adaptation of Stephen King's It. It Chapter 2 tells the story taking place 27 years after the events of the first It, where the Losers Club, the kids from the first movie, they have at this point grown into adulthood, and they have been apart for so long now with their own individual lives, but they finally reunite when Mike, the one member of the club to stay in the town of Derry, realises that Pennywise has returned. When he spots Pennywise murdering a kid at a carnival, he summons the Losers Club to assemble, and this leads to the final battle with Pennywise and to kick Pennywise's arse and end his villainy once and for all. It's no secret that the 2017 It was one of my favourite movies of 2017. It is a far superior adaptation of Stephen King's book than the 90s miniseries, which is a watchable adaptation, I would say. Tim Curry as a Pennywise was the best thing about it, but Bill Skarsgård has dethroned Tim Curry as the greatest Pennywise now, and the book it is literally the Bible of horror. So it could never have been adapted into just one movie. You need at least a mini-series and a two-part epic to tell the story of Stephen King's book, and part 2 of the book focuses on the losers as adults. This was my favourite part of the book. Since I was never aware of the book as a kid, I never picked it up until I saw the 2017 It. The adult side of the story to me was the more relatable parts, as I am, well, a adult fan of it. And the critical reception for It Chapter 2 has surprisingly been a little more critical than I predicted. It just has a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, and critics have been heavily criticising this movie's nearly 3-hour running time. So yeah, that was a little underwhelming to hear, but it didn't prevent my excitement for the movie whatsoever. And after seeing It Chapter 2, I fucking loved It Chapter 2. I guess this is an unpopular opinion, but I say It Chapter 2 is a superior movie to the 2017 It. Yeah, I said it. Call me nuts, but this was the most justified adaptation of the adult parts of the It story ever made. It puts the disappointing parts of the mini series to freaking shame. Let me get it right into my positives for this genuine horror masterpiece. I see the movie's 2-hour and 50-minute running time as a positive instead of a negative. I don't get the hate for the runtime. I mean, nobody complained that Avengers Endgame was 3 hours, so how come you're complaining that It Chapter 2 is 3 hours? This is the second 3-hour blockbuster to be released in 2019, and for me, the running time in It Chapter 2 worked better in It Chapter 2 than it did in Endgame, because Endgame did have that slow-ish first half, but there are no slow moments in It Chapter 2. Oh no, make sure you go to the bathroom before you sit through It Chapter 2, because there is not one point in this movie to have a bathroom break. Every single moment is important, and I would, if the movie had been any shorter, it wouldn't have felt as fulfilling as a conclusion to this epic two-part story. Because of this, especially Jessica Chastain as Beverly, it's an instinct to love Jessica Chastain in anything she's in. She also starred in Dark Phoenix earlier this year, but as Beverly, this is her best movie role of 2019. She is totally on fire this year with her career, and she I like Jessica Chastain's Beverly better than Beverly from the first. She is, without a shadow of a doubt, my favourite character in the movie, as she is still the most tragic member of the Losers Club, as she is sadly now being abused by her douchebag husband. Yeah, I just wanted to leap into the movie and rescue her from her abusive husband, and thankfully she gets the happy ending that she deserves. And the moment when she is ambushed by the old lady in her old home, I can confirm that old lady is Pennywise in a different form. Everybody's favourite character in this movie seems to be Bill Hader as Richie, and I admit he is certainly my second favourite character in the movie. And James McAvoy is also freaking amazing as Billy, but to me this is Beverly's movie. Jessica Chastain owned this movie, and the Losers Club reuniting at the restaurants, that was a uplifting and extremely heartwarming moment to see these lifelong friends meet again, and just and chat and hug, and it immediately cheers them all up after all of the shits that they've been through. That's what makes both It movies stand above other horror movies. It's not about the scares, it's about the characters. It is at its core a character study, and a awesome one of that. If these movies realise that we needed to care about and latch on to the characters. The more we care about the characters, the more terrifying the movie is, as we want every single one of them to make it to the end. And sadly, not all of the Losers Club do make it to the end in this movie. Literally, what Eddie is killed off. Yeah, this movie feels darker than the first. It's not just because they're adults, but it gets beyond gory and graphic, especially in the opening scene when Pennywise murders the kid at the carnival by biting out his heart. Yeah, this is truly the goriest movie I have seen this entire year, and it's also one of the funniest. Thankfully, this movie does occasionally give us a good laugh when it's necessary, so that it's not entirely grim. So these movies are far more rewatchable than other horror flicks. Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is going to be competing with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker as one of the greatest movie villains of the year. Now a Joker versus Pennywise movie is a movie I would rush to see, and there are some flashback scenes back to the kids from the first movie, which helps the adults feel like they are literally the kids, just in older form. That is how accurate the casting is, and they even use some extraordinary CGI to make the kids look younger, just as young as they were back in 2017. A similar technique to make Samuel L. Jackson look younger in Captain Marvel, which is impressive. I literally have no complaints with It Chapter 2. This and the first It are some of the best horror movies ever made, period. And if you watch a double bill of It's 2017 and It Chapter 2, then you get the most satisfying 5-hour horror movie that you will ever see. I'm sure everybody will accept the close to 3-hour runtime once they purchase the DVD and Blu-ray, because then they can pause the movie anytime they want for an interval, and just you wait. I'm sure there's going to be a 6-hour cut of it, where we get extended editions. So yeah, it's Chapter 2. Is for me controversially even better than the 2017 It's the best of the 3 It's movies, and one of my 10 favourite movies of 2019. I give It Chapter 2 5 stars out of 5. Best movie ever. So yeah, what an awesome movie to kickstart the full 2019 movie season, and with a movie this good already, this fall looks like it's going to be the best fall ever. Well, I love you guys, thank you for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what do you think of It Chapter 2, and which is your favourite It movie? The 1990s miniseries, the 2017 It, or It Chapter 2? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram, and I'll see you all next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.